Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. I'll keep the intro brief because the video might be quite long. Today's episode we're going to be first fixing a load of heating pipes across a roof space in a bungalow and getting the main shell of the heating in. We're putting a combi in this job, taking the cylinder out, so I'll sort of explain the system as we go along. And yeah, we'll crack straight on with it. Hopefully you enjoy. Somebody asked for a video the other week on pipe identification, how to identify each pipe. So I'm just going to quickly run through it on this cylinder. So always look. The cold feed will always drop into the bottom, which is this one. That one goes to tank. So generally you'll have a gate valve on a cold feed on an old system like this. That's your cold feed. That one fills the cylinder. This one here is your hot draw off. Hot is always at the top. So that's your vent. That one goes back over the tank. And that's your hot to your taps. And then you've got a flow and a return. So that one there is a 28 in. They've reduced that down to 15 mil, have they? Which 15 mil is plenty to feed a cylinder anyway. So that's a 28 mil flow, and then your returns at your bottom. So inside there you've got a coil. So this is just a standard indirect system. And then them two, yeah. So there your flow and return dropping from the roof. So up there, I imagine there'll be a 3-port. There could even be like an air sep or something on this system. We'll pop up and have a look. But there might be two 2-ports or a 3-port up in the roof. And their flow and return, looking at it, their flow and return to the heating. And they're just clipped along the back. And then obviously at some point there was a radiator on there. But we're doing away with all this anyway. So yeah, it's just trying, once you get your head around systems, you can sort of work out what each bit does. But we'll have a look up in the roof. So we're up in the roof now. This is the little header tank for the heating. It's actually there. You should really have that tank higher than that tank in case the coil ever leaked, because if the coil were to pinhole, you'd have mucky heating water going into your hot water. So years ago they used to put them the other way around, but obviously somebody's doing it like that. They're being done away with anyway, so it's not the end of the world. So up here, yeah, there's the 3-port for the heating. So B would go to hot water, B would go to your hot water, that will drop back down to your coil, and A would go to your radiator circuit. But we're doing away with all this anyway. So yeah, that's your cold feed to the heating, that was your vent, and so that's what it is, but we're doing away with all this anyway. So our new boiler will be approximately, well, it'll be in the garage on that back wall somewhere. So we need a flow, return, hot and cold, clip in along this roof space, obviously picking up each of the radiators, and the bathroom is over there somewhere. So that's what I'm going to crack on for a start. We haven't got much of today left anyway. It's just a little bit of a hospital job, this one. So yeah, I'll get some lat up and we'll get some pipe clips in. It's actually a nice roof space to work in, this one. There's not too much insulation. Obviously we will put some more insulation in, but while we're working up here, it's not bad. What I'll do is turn this lever valve here off, because that'll leave us mains to the toilet. But that'll isolate the tank, so I can open a hot tap, it'll empty this tank here. Obviously it won't empty the cylinder. That's not asbestos, it's just plastic. And then we can start to get stuff drained down then. So yeah, that'll be fine. We're lucky to have lever valves. That all that's doing is emptying the big header tank in the roof. So that's the hot tap. As I say, it won't empty the cylinder. We'll have to drain that manually. Them two 22s are the existing flow and return to the existing boiler. So they'll be cut off. What I'm looking at is getting a 15 hot, 15 cold, and a 22 flow and return clipped across here. The joists are going the right way for us, so I can space the clips up so we can lag them straight across. I'm just working out the shell of where all the radiators are going in my head. So we've got one radiator over there going in the lounge. That one in the dining room will come straight off the boiler, so we don't need to worry about putting a drop in for that. We need a set of T's here for one in the kitchen, which is directly below over there, that light. And then we get across to here, we've got one's in the bedrooms over on the far side, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and then we've got one in the corridor. So we've just got to be a little bit careful where I stand, and the corridor is just where the loft hatch is, so we've got a drop there. So in theory we've got, have I missed any? Oh yeah, one in the toilet, but that one I'll probably chop in. So we've got three surface drops across that back side, one in the corridor, one in the kitchen, and one in the lounge. So what I'm going to do is get some flow and returns clipped in, get some hot and cold clipped in. Obviously we need what I'll probably do with the hot and cold, the cold is coming in the bathroom anyway, so the cold will come across. We'll probably move the stop tap to under the kitchen sink, so I have to work out where it's best going to be to drop it, but it might be chopping it in the wall in the bathroom and then going across in the units or something. But either way, we need a hot and a cold over to there, so that's what I'm going to crack on with for a start. There's two things we need to consider when I'm doing it like this: how we're going to lag the pipes and how we're going to get the air out. What I'm going to do is space my pipes up on some Pantol. A, it'll make it easier to lag, and B, what I can do is if space it up on the joist on Pantol, when I go across, I can go under that other beam. You probably can't see, I can go under that beam and all the air should rise to one centre point then. Ideally, we just want to be putting 2 sets of air taps on the heating pipes in the middle. But we'll see how we go. If we can just make one high point, that'd be perfect. So yeah, I'm going to cut some lat, get some 215s and 222s clipped on there, and go all the way across the roof in a nice straight line, so everything's parallel and nice and easy to lag then. So I'm just working these pipes into the centre of the roof. I'll probably put the air taps over here, but this is going to be where the... Can't do that because I need to hold it. Let me just stick that there. This is where they're going to split, so I've got 22 going that way to the far end, and then there will just be 15 because we've got one in the kitchen and one in the bathroom over there on the heating circuit, and then just a 15 hot and cold across the kitchen and the bathroom. So yeah, it's going okay. Obviously I've not done much yet, I've just chucked a few pipes in, but we'll clip all the way down that side in 22 and just split 15-15. So you just flux the outside of your pipe, you don't need flux to fit in. And then this will split 22 that way, and then just 15 towards the camera. And 15 across there. Something like that, and then that one I'll cross over and the hot and cold will just go that way. Let's just solder this one up. Decided to put some air taps here, so these will come straight off the boiler across, and I'll try and make this the high point of my heating system. So I'll put 2 lever valves on there, that's hot. Just put my finger on there, 2 lever valves and 2 auto air taps. So hot and colds, we don't need to worry about air taps, that won't airlock. So yeah, heating will continue along there and continue along there. Right, so these are my 22mm feeds going across. These are going to pick up 4 radiators on that's behind me. One thing about these jobs, they are good, obviously being in an empty building, but you don't half get lonely working on your own all the time. It's one thing you never really consider, but I guess having the camera on it gives me somebody to talk to. I guess that's one reason why I like making my videos as well, because it just passes the day a little bit. Not that I don't enjoy the job, I absolutely love the job, but as I say, working on your own all the time, it is lonely. Just get these fluxed up. So you guys help me as much as, well, hopefully I help you. Hopefully it's entertaining and informative, the videos. That's what it's all about, isn't it? That's what it's all about. And as I say, I do absolutely love making my videos. One thing I wish I'd done is started making them when years ago, because I've done so many interesting jobs, and it's not so much about sharing, it's about looking back into it, how much you've improved, because I'm obviously not the best plumber in the world. I obviously try and do my best. Obviously there's always things you can improve on and get better at, and that's what life's all about, isn't it? Because you're never going to be the best, but you can be the hardest working. I'm getting all philosophical. I can't even say it. You can I'm a plumber, can't you? Getting all philosophical now. Loneliness. A lot of time to think. A lot of time to worry as well when you're lonely. Worry if you're going to get paid. Worry if it's going to leak. I don't know. We'll be alright, we always are. Just keep doing my bit. That's all you can ever do. I say jobs like this are pretty stress-free, to be honest with you. At the minute I've got nobody chasing me, but there'll come a time on this job where obviously it needs to move on a bit, because they always do. But right now, as of today, I'm fine. And we take the easy days when they come, because it don't always happen like that. Now, it makes me laugh sometimes. I obviously post my videos to try and get 2 out a week, and my last couple have been the most disliked videos on my channel. I mean, dislikes don't bother me now. They used to bother me. Obviously I do care what people think, but sometimes you're obviously always going to get people that hate on what you do, and that's absolutely fine. Obviously everybody's different, aren't they? Everybody likes different things. I'm sure my videos aren't for everybody, but yeah, the last couple have been particularly disliked. I remember a while ago I did a video. I fitted, some of you guys might remember it, it was probably over a year ago. I fitted a Alpha Combi. Obviously I was only doing what the customer wanted, and my video got that many dislikes, obviously saying it. I actually removed the video in there. That's the only video I've removed. I just thought, at the end of the day, we've all got bills to pay. You can't turn work down just because, you know, I don't know. I mean, the boiler's never broke down. It's still going. I went and serviced it like 6 months ago, and the boiler's still fine. But obviously you can't afford to turn work down just because it's not the best work. You know, obviously we'd all like to fit, you know, boilers on ply lining with Munson clips and all that and do the best job, but not every job is like that. And at the end of the day, we've got bills to pay, so you can't be too fussy. And as I say, on my channel I just show things how they are. It's obviously not always the best work, it's not always the worst work. It is, you know, it is what it is. You know, I can't spend all day on a job polishing pipes, because I've got, you know, I'd never make any money. Ultimately that's what it comes down to. You know, you've got a business to run, I've got bills to pay. You know, you've got to get on sometimes. And I'm not saying just smash it in and do a rubbish job, but there comes a point, you know, that you can only do what you can do sometimes. And are the customers really going to pay? You know, I could spend ages up here polishing all these pipes in the roof, but the customer ain't ever going to pay it. They ain't ever going to see it. So you've got to justify what you do sometimes. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing a good job. I'm just saying, you know, every job is different and every situation is different. Yeah. You can tell I've got a lot of time to think today, can't you? Because I'm getting... But it is what it is. Right, that's got the main shell of the heating ran in. I've got a radiator directly beneath my feet going in the hallway. I'm not 100% sure on that position of that one yet. But I can cut the tees in after. Obviously, I've got 22 flame returns across. So what I'm going to do now is get the drops in for these 3 bedrooms across this backside. So we'll have a drop over there, and a drop over there. What I'll do is I'll just shove 15mm copper up through the ceiling, and we can start to get these picked up. So then that'll be that 3 all worked in. Obviously this hallway one I'm going to leave, because I don't know if the radiator's going back in that position. The bathroom one I do have a layout for. The towel rail's going on the far side, but I'm going to pick them up off them 15 mils I've got stubbed across there. So bathroom and kitchen, they're accounted for. And then the only other one we've got is the dining room, which will come straight off the boiler, so I don't need to put a drop in for that. So I'm going to work on these 3 drops. I'll just get the laser set up. We'll put some 15 mil up through the ceiling, and as I say, them drops are going to be boxed in, but at least I can get all these picked up across this backside then. But yeah, okay, it's going okay. This radiator in here I can pick up off the garage as well, because the boiler's in the garage. I can just basically drill through that wall and pick it up. I don't want to want 2 in here. I don't know why there's 2 in here to start with. I'm just going around banging all the drops in. Just use the laser to get a straight line and then straight through. And then we'll just get these connected up top. And as I say, these are being boxed in the corner. Been around and put all the drops in, all bar one actually. I haven't done the kitchen one yet, but this one might be a little bit awkward. What I've had to do is bend across. There's a joist or a timber across there. So I've kicked it across and then pulled it back out the eaves. So I'll pop up in the roof, see if we can get to it. Obviously, as I've already said, they're being boxed in. There's not so much more I can do with them, but I think they'll be fine. I think they'll look all right. As I say, the rad will go under the window, a new rad, and we'll just run down and along. Right, we're back up in the roof. It's actually quite warm up here today, but I've been round and put all the drops in. All the drops this end, I've just got one more to do in the kitchen. The one that I'm worried about is the one over there in that corner. I've pulled it out the corner. The problem is the beam along the wall, or the joist, whatever you want to call it, is right in the corner. So I've like kicked it across and then out, so hopefully I can get to that. All them should be all right. Let's go and have a look. Too old for this. So yeah, they'll be fine. That one there's fine. That one over there's fine. You can just see that. Can you? Well, I can. I don't know if you can, but just past that white overflow, there's 2 15 mils coming up. It's that one over there, which I'll probably tackle first, right in that corner. But yeah, I think we'll be all right. We'll just run 22. When my 22s are there, I'll run 22 to there and then just split 15 and then 15 off that. That'll be fine. So 22 to the main branch and then just 15 either way will be perfect. And then I can pick that corridor one up, which will be fine. And then the kitchen and the bathroom. The bathroom I'm going to do a chase, and then the kitchen's just dropping over there somewhere. And that's most of the heating in up here then. I'll send you guys through the cobwebs first. I'll use the camera as a blocker full of cobwebs. You could just see, let's move that out of the way, horrible stuff. You could just see my 2 15 mil pipes right in this corner. As I say, there was that bit, that joist in the corner, so I couldn't get any more, but I've pulled them out of the way. So I've sold the 2 15 mil sockets on there, just kick them over here somewhere, and then we're out of the corner then, aren't we? And then I'll have to lag them the best I can. There's that screw, I don't know what that bit of timber there is. It's right, it's fixed. It's right in the way, that, but I don't think my pipe's touching that screw. I think it's just off it. I don't want it squeaking, but I think we'll be all right. Yeah, I'll do this bit first, and then everything else down this side is perfect. I just noticed that the walls, when I was drilling them, they felt a little bit hollow, but they're them tile blocks, so I have got a little bit of chasing in to do. You've got to be a little bit careful when you chase them in, because you can end up knocking the whole block out. Obviously they're like, I don't know, like terracotta breeze blocks, but they're like hollow inside, I think. Don't come across them too often. You see the whole house is done with them. But yeah, they're not proper blocks. Can you feel it? Can you hear it? It sounds like hollow. So when you chase in, obviously the Sparky's going to have a few issues, isn't he? Because obviously he's got loads of sockets to add, but look, that's what they are. Anyway, back to the plumbing. I'm getting there. Put a couple of offsets to get underneath this beam thing. I think all the air should still rise to this end. They were supposed to be the same. They are. They're not bad. They're not bad. Give yourself 6.5 out of 10 on them. So they'll go. Can I do this? They'll go underneath. I haven't actually tried these yet. I don't even know if they fit. But they'll go underneath there. We'll cut that off, and then we'll pick it up off our main flow and returns, which will run somewhere across here. Got 2 ends of the pencils going. Best way sometimes. Get that cut off there. Do, mate. solder. If I could find my solder, it's there. I find plumbing's working your way out of corners a lot of the time. And I always try and get the awkward bits done first on jobs. I know that soldering is dog, but as long as it doesn't leak. It is difficult when you're up in roof spaces and stuff. Stuck. I'm going to get all philosophical again in a minute. That's the word of the day. No, somebody asked me the other day, because obviously it was on the news, wasn't it, about the government. Let me bring the light round. About the government obviously banning oil boilers. I'm probably biased. I used to subby for a heat pump contractor, but you find with a lot of these companies, they come and go. Obviously they get a lot of work, then they start getting callbacks, and then they just disappear, and then they set up as another company. Obviously I don't know what the future holds for this industry. Obviously we need to start moving on to good renewables. Whether heat pumps is the future, I don't know. Obviously I like my oil and my gas, because obviously that's what I do. I mean, I can fit heat pumps. Obviously I've not got, what is it, the MCS accreditation. I probably need to look at getting that. But at the end of the day, the oil boilers will run on synthetic fuels, renewable, fuels. But obviously nobody does, because it's more expensive. So I honestly don't know. I've had a couple of inquiries this week, obviously, for oil boilers, because people are worried. Because obviously the government come out and make a fleeting statement saying no oil boilers in 3 years time, 2026. That's all right, but you do worry a lot of people. And as I say, I don't know what happened. Change of government, it'll be change of policy. But yeah, we do need to look at, obviously we do need to look after the environment. That's another thing somebody said to me the other day. Obviously I don't do a lot of pressing, I do a lot of soldering. They said, oh, pressing's better for the environment because you ain't got a flame. I'm thinking this little flame ain't killing the ozone. I can tell you there's more lithium ion in them batteries on them press guns than there is me doing a little bit of soldering. Yeah, I get the advantages of pressing, but the environment is not one of them in my opinion. Again, these are only my opinions. But yeah, as for oil, I think we should be moving towards synthetic fuels. But to outright ban them, I don't think is the right thing to do. But again, they're just my opinions. Because obviously heat pumps are perfect in for some jobs, and I have done heat pumps in the past, and they have worked really well. But a lot of my customers and a lot of my customer base don't want it. And obviously, let me just put that fire out. I don't want to sell something that isn't going to work, and I don't want. Yeah, and as I say, I'm here for the long haul. I don't want to go bust just because I've fitted heat pumps and I'm being sued. So yeah, I always want to do what's best for the customer and do what's best for the environment, but it is tricky. So as for, if anybody asks me the question, what do I think? I don't know, is the answer. I don't know what the future holds. The other thing that gets me is Offtech. Why we're hearing that the government's banning oil boilers? Why are we hearing it on the news? Why is Offtech not stepping in? At least with the wood burners, HETAS, they're lobbying the government all the time, because obviously to stop banning, to protect jobs and stuff like that. What are Offtech doing? They're doing nothing. I'm not saying it's right that they should be banning oil boilers. I'm not saying it's wrong, but what I should say is Offtech, we pay all this money into the membership schemes and stuff like that. They should be lobbying the government to protect jobs. Even if it's the right thing from the environmental point of view that the oil boilers are being banned, Offtech should still be lobbying against it, because that's their job. That's what we're paying for. But as I say, I've had a rant on Offtech on another video. I'm not going to go into it here. But absolute, as an industry body, they should be trying to protect jobs in the industry. Right, so that's this end of the bungalow all piped up. I've tried to make it so the pipes rise all the way back to the high point over there. They should be near enough. To be honest with you, with pressurised systems, it is important, obviously, because with plastic you get up and down, it's a nightmare to clear the airlocks, but I can't see it being a problem. So this end's all done. I've just got that drop to pick up. Can you see it over there? What's going on with the camera? Put me the light. That drop to pick up in the middle for the hallway rad, and that was probably as much as I'll get done today. And then tomorrow when I'm back, I've obviously got flow returns to run around the garage over yon side to pick up, the dining room one and the lounge, and then I've got to put another drop in for the kitchen, and then the bathroom I've got to chop in. I'm a little bit concerned chopping in because they're these, can you see the wall? Where's the wall gone? You see they're like hollow blocks. If you're not careful, you end up through the other side, like terracotta blocks. So I've obviously got to chop my shower pipes in, my hot and my cold from my basin need chopping in, the mains in the bathroom as well, so, and the towel rail I really want to get in the wall, but that'll be a problem for another day. But the electrician's going to have the same problem unless he can fish down the cavity with his cables. I'm not sure on the regs, but yeah, I'll get that middle one piped up and then we'll wrap the video up. So I've just branched off my main flow and turns, picking up this radiator in the hallway. What I'll do is pop a little offset on this pipe here. I'll try and bend it. I'll try and get it in shot if I can. When I said I try and bend it, I am going to bend it. I mean, I'll try and get it in shot. It's not always easy when you're working in roof spaces, dodgy lighting. Like I always say, this ain't no Hollywood film. This is just me trying to do my job. And it, sometimes, obviously the camera footage is not going to be the best. And I've probably bent that one already, haven't I? We can rescue that. Should be concentrating on my job, not on the talking. I've got plenty of copper. We can rescue it. That's not bad. Not bad for a guess anyway. It's not perfect obviously, but again, up in a roof space you're never going to see it. So I will get that bit connected up and that'll do me for tonight. Right, that's it for today. That's majority of the heating all shelled out. I've just picked that drop up there. All them ones that side are all done. I'm not walking back over there to show you because I can't be bothered. I'm about wore out. It's hot up here actually. That end's all done. Again, I'm not walking around there, but you can see they go all the way around. Just got to pick kitchen rad up and bathroom rad over that side, and the hot and colds are across there as well. So it's not a bad day. Let me spin the camera around. Let me get some light on. Can't see what I'm doing now. I've got light in my eyes. Awful camera work. So yeah, as always, if you did enjoy this one, make sure you hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike. I'll probably do a part 2 for this, or maybe even more than one part. Obviously we've got all the bathroom to do, kitchen, all the rads, boiler, so there is a bit to do on this one, but I like to get all the, it's not bad work, there's no such thing as bad work, but it's not the nicest up in the roof, if you know what I mean. So I like to try and get all this sort of stuff done first, because then when you come back you've obviously got the rads to do. It's nice and easy really. So yeah, I'll probably, in the next video, I'll probably finish off the pipework over there, and we'll have a look at the bathroom, get all that stripped out. I'm not sure how I'm going to chop the pipes in yet, as I say, because it's obviously them terracotta blocks, but we'll come up with a solution. We always do. There's no such thing as problems, only solutions. And yeah, if you did enjoy this one, I've probably already said this, but yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll catch you all in the next.